Hi Revolution golfers, Andrew Rice, beautiful day, Savannah Harbor, thanks for joining me. And today I wanted to share some information pertaining to perhaps, and I've discussed this with Martin, perhaps the most common fault that we encounter in the 3-day golf schools that we run. And it really has to do with the transition and the start of the downswing. And essentially golfers get themselves in a corner and the rest of the downswing becomes a big compensatory session in an effort to get that club head on the back of the golf ball appropriately so that they can get the golf ball to finish at the target. And that is a big instinct for any golfer. If you've worked your way through a number of pyramids over the years, you've learned and developed that instinct, that skill really, to have the ball finish towards the target most of the time. Now, how can we create a top of the backswing and transition that's going to allow us to be less athletic, be less reliant on timing on the way down? And I think it's quite interesting to look at. So essentially what I'm referring to here is I get up to the top and let's say I get the club across the line. As I start down, that shaft gets in a very vertical position. And essentially what I've got is I've got the club head right on top of the handle early on at the start of my downswing. Now, what I see most golfers do from here is they've developed that instinct that I spoke about and they go this way and they lose their body angles, they early extend, push the hands out, and that drops the club head back to the inside. And if their timing's on that day, then they can hit some nice right launching, left curving draws if they're right-handers, and things are going beautifully. As soon as they start to play too well or they start to get a little bit anxious, becomes more difficult to time that and they can start to hit some squirrely shots that go all over the place. Your ability to compensate is challenged. So what are we going to look for? I'd love to see a situation where any of you can initiate the downswing with a golf club position where the handle and the head are not on top of one another. There they are, vertical on top of one another. I'd love to see if we could work towards that. I call it in fancy golf instruction terms an out of line condition, where we've got the handle there and the head there. That's going to enable us to be able to rotate our body through the hit instead of having to compensate and lose our body angle, stand up. I know quite a few of you are guilty of that. I certainly have been at certain points in my golf ball hitting career. So what do we need to do? I think the first thing I'd love for you to feel is as you get to the top, don't be afraid to get the club fairly vertical going back. My experience is if you can get it somewhat vertical going back, it becomes easier to get it to lay down and get out of line on the way down. So the important thing is by the time we get to the top, I would like that to have initiated already. So a great little exercise I want you to feel is work the club to the top. It's okay if it gets a little steep on the way back, but I want you to work towards laying it down as you start your downswing. So how can we do that? A couple of different avenues. We've got wrists. The wrists, notice if I work my wrists that way, I can lay that club down. I'm getting some bow in my lead wrist there. If I get my elbows to work closer together, that's also going to cause the shaft to lay down. And if I get some of this external rotation, we've all seen a picture of a pitcher throwing a golf ball, or anybody, a cricketer throwing a golf ball in from the covers. Not a golf ball, a cricket ball, throwing something where they really get that right forearm laying down, lots of external rotation in that shoulder. It's a great feel, skipping a rock off the water. It's a great feel for you to get and start to work towards laying that shaft down. It's amazing what will start to happen to the quality of your ball striking if you can get the club out of that vertical start to the downswing. And it all really occurs at the top of the backswing and in that transition. So here we go. Good little feel. I've just got an 8-iron off a tee here, up to the top. And don't be afraid to exaggerate it in your practice swings. Go to town. Really make it look and feel extreme. Up to the top. really try to lay it down, and a nice soft one here. Okay, and I know that that downswing there had this look. And that's really what we're after. Give it a try. Thanks for watching. Stay patient with it. Spend some time in front of a mirror, getting your eyes on it, getting so that you can connect the feel to the appropriate look. Once you've done that, go out, try some soft swings, take ownership of this upgrade that way. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, leave them below. I'll respond to as many as I can.